Congressman, thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
We heard the president coming out strongly with saying if these allegations are true, that he should resign. Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand now on the bandwagon as well, and you and fellow congressional leaders. Can he survive this?
No one knows for sure. I mean, it's partly the governor's decision, and it's partly the Assembly's decision. You know, I have a nuanced view. I agree that the governor is entitled to due process. I agree that we should wait for the findings of the independent investigation before convicting the governor in the court of public opinion. Having said that, when the majority of the congressional delegation, including Majority Leader Schumer, calls on you to resign, when the leadership of the state legislature calls on you to resign or consider resigning, your ability to govern is all but crippled. And no governor can effectively run the state without the full confidence of state and federal partners. That's the hard, cold fact. There's no escaping it. There's no denying it. But ultimately, it's the governor's decision, and it's the state assembly's decision, and I respect their right to make the decision.
You know, it's interesting when you look at the local politics. He also is getting very little support in this matter, particularly with one of his nemesis, the mayor. We're seeing him also calling for him to resign.
It does appear the mayor's the happiest person in America. You know, I do worry that the situation has become too politicized, and we should allow the investigation to play out. But there's no question that the governor has sustained irreparable damage from the controversy.
So I know you said this should play out, because look what happened with Senator Gillibrand when she kind of forced Al Franken to get out of office. That has dogged her for years. So you do agree that the governor deserves an investigation before he leaves, if he leaves office?
Due process is a right in America. The governor is entitled to due process. But there are two separate issues. There's the substance of the allegations, and we should all reserve judgment before reviewing the facts. But then there's the politics. And when the majority leader of the United States Senate calls on you to resign, that's not something that can be taken lightly. And so that's what makes this situation much more complicated.
All right. And can we talk a little COVID relief right now? Because we may be getting checks. Some people may be getting checks in their... right? Is that today, possibly? But let me ask you something. If you owe outstanding bills somewhere, because people were tweeting me, are they taking that money back? Is the government taking that money back?
Not to my knowledge. So, under the American Rescue Plan, New York State is set to receive over $100 billion, and the vast majority of those dollars are going to be put in the pockets of New York families. So New Yorkers are going to receive a one-time stimulus check of $1,400 per dependent, which for a family of 4 is $5,600. Families are going to receive a child tax credit of up to $300 per child every month starting in July. And for those who are unemployed, there's going to be a weekly unemployment check of $300 until September. And in addition to unemployment insurance, the federal government is covering 100% of the cost of COBRA, which is private insurance for the unemployed.
I know you've been very concerned about small businesses, making sure that they get the money that's due to them as well, particularly minority-owned small businesses, just making sure that that there's equal distribution. Can you guarantee that?
Yes, so the American Rescue Plan includes unprecedented funding for small businesses. We established a small business fund of about $10 billion, which can be leveraged to generate over $100 billion in financing for the smallest of small businesses. And in addition to that fund, we also allocated about $28 billion to support our restaurants, which have been hardest hit by the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Switching gears a little, let's talk about COVID vaccine distribution. Recently, the mayor said that he wants to eliminate the middleman, talking about Governor Cuomo. He wants to appeal directly to the federal government for the doses. Is that likely to happen? I mean, there's no eliminate. The city ultimately is a creature of the state, and we tend to allocate most of our resources to the state. Every so often, we will allocate resources directly to New York City.
because it's the largest city in America. It's unlike any other city in the country. So it depends on the circumstances. There have been programs that directly allocate funding or resources directly to New York City.
Before you go, can we just talk about the migrant surge at the borders, because they're saying it is the worst in 20 years. What is going to be done about it? I mean, we're hearing really horrible conditions and young children without any kind of family member with them. What is going on?
Yeah, so I'm the vice chair of the Homeland Security Committee in the House of Representatives. Secretary Mayorkas is coming before the committee this morning, and this is going to be the subject of conversation.
What can you do, though, Congressman? What can you do?
So when border security apprehends children at the border, those children are supposed to be relocated to a HHS shelter within 72 hours. Children have been waiting longer than 72 hours. So the president has mobilized FEMA to build more shelter capacity and to respond to the surge. We've restored the Central American Minors Program, which enables children to apply for asylum from their home country without taking the journey to the U.S.-Mexico border. We're going to provide humanitarian assistance to Central America to address the instability that has been driving the migrant wave. We're encouraging family members to come forward and to care for children in the custody of the federal government. So we're taking several steps. You know, the Biden administration inherited a fundamentally dysfunctional immigration system, and it's not going to be repaired overnight. It's going to take time to overhaul immigration in America.
It's interesting because Jen Psaki said that they're running out of options, that they're trying to find these children's sponsors or their family members, but they don't have options. How's that even possible?
Look, we are building shelter capacity as we speak, but you're right. The immigration system is poorly equipped to absorb a migrant surge, even in the best of times. To do so in the midst of a pandemic is a nightmare. But keep in mind that this is a cyclical event. There was a border crisis in 2014 during the Obama administration, in 2019 during the Trump administration, and now in 2021 during the Biden administration. So this is more of a cyclical crisis than a consequence of Biden administration policies.
All right. Well, we could talk about this for a whole day.
Yes.
Good luck, Congressman. We appreciate you coming on Good Day New York.
Always a pleasure.